See, I have a dream, I have a vision. I have a vision of my family living on their own plot of land, on our own little farm. We've got sheep, chickens. My daughter's running around, playing with the animals and her friends, maybe a brother or sister. My wife is stood in the kitchen, she's baking, she's doing whatever it is she wants to do, and I'm just stood there, looking around me, soaking up the sun, feeling very grateful for what myself and my family have achieved together. But at one point, this dream felt very unachievable, completely unattainable. I was living in the back of a transit van with my wife. You could call it a camper van, but I use that term loosely. And there were times when we would look at each other and we wouldn't even know what to say to each other. We had this dream we shared, we had this vision, but as we looked around at our lives, there was no signs of really that materializing, no signs of us getting any closer to it. One fateful day, we found out that we were expecting a baby. And inevitably, a lot of things change at that moment. And in an instant, my priorities changed. And I realized that, this could be possible. And in fact, it has to be possible. I'm now in a position where I have to make this work. And I did it because I had the opportunity to learn something about myself, to learn something about the world around me, and to learn something about other people. And that learning came in the form of rapid transformational coaching. Not only did it teach me how to impact other people's lives and how to help them get the most out of their lives, but it's helped me to understand myself. It's helped me to understand how I get the most out of my life. And in the short space of 2 years, I've gone from the back of a transit van, and I now live in the countryside in a beautiful house. I own 4 sheep, so I'm 4 sheep closer to that farm that I dreamt of. And every day I know I'm getting closer and closer. So I was living in the back of that camper van, found out that I'm expecting a child, and I had a real moment of desperation. Head in hands, knees on the ground. What am I going to do? I had a bit more direction and drive now. I knew what my priorities were, but I didn't really know what to do with that. Luckily, I have an incredibly wise wife who, over a period of time, had always told me that I had a bit of a knack for talking to people, listening to people, understanding people, giving advice. Something I didn't always recognize in myself, but for someone else to recognize that in me gave me a bit of a spark and ignited something in me to try and find a way to pursue that. And I didn't actually really need to look very far. It turns out I'd been following someone called Marissa Peer for a very, very long time. And all of a sudden, everything she was saying resonated with me so deeply, I just knew this is who I need to learn from. I received an email, just an advert for a job, and the title that I saw was Train to be a Coach. And in that moment, something hit me. I felt like that email was sent just to me. That was sent out for me. And I knew I had to respond. And I did straight away. And I started my journey as a rapid transformational coach. From the moment I started learning rapid transformational coaching, so many things in my life almost unintentionally upgraded and enhanced the way I was communicating with myself, the way I was communicating with my wife and my friends and my family. I learned some really simple but really effective tools that enabled me to completely change my perspective and shift my mindset on what I was capable of, what my family was capable of, and really what everyone in the world was capable of. And through these kind of really quite small but powerful steps that I was taking, things in my life started to align and fall into place. Before I knew it, I was being offered an opportunity to rent this incredible house in the countryside that 6 months before I thought was a pipe dream and was almost unachievable. And now here I am. I've been given this opportunity to create the life that I've been dreaming of. And it happened so quickly. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to show people that every conversation we have can be so powerful and life-changing if we just learn the simple skills, the simple tools needed to navigate that. So I actually started to test some of the things I was learning on my wife. She was quite happy to be my guinea pig, and I was very happy to practice with her. And a little tool that I tried with her very quickly was something called the ladder of looping thoughts. And it is something that changed her life so profoundly. And I think even though she knew that I was doing the right thing, in that moment, when we went through that exercise together, she was so certain that we were going to be okay and that everything we wanted was going to happen because she understood and felt the power of what I was learning. And we're going to do that ladder of looping thoughts very briefly in just a few minutes. Everyone that goes through this RTC program transforms their life so profoundly and so deeply. I remember one of the first people to actually go through the course came into the program, into the group sessions, clearly with no real understanding of what coaching was, no belief in himself, and really looked quite and felt quite lost. And I was lucky enough to see them right at the end of his RTC journey, unrecognizable as a person. The self-belief that he had, the powerful questions that he was asking, the impact that he was having on other people's lives, and the happiness and the excitement that I could see in his face. It was quite an emotional moment, actually, to deliver the news to him that he had become a rapid transformational coach. And not only that, he'd taken what we'd taught him, and he'd taken rapid transformational coaching and he'd made it his own, and he was doing it in his own way. And he felt so confident and comfortable in himself. Whereas at the beginning, he didn't quite feel like that. He didn't feel confident in himself at all. There was no self-belief. I mean, when I first met him, I could really barely understand some of the things he was saying to me. He was so quiet, reserved, really kind of a shell of a person almost. There were things about himself that he told me that he'd often hidden from the world, spent a lot of time hiding away, not knowing how to step out into himself and really get the most out of his own life. And I could see he was almost on the verge of kind of giving up, almost on the verge of not knowing what to do and where to turn. And we cut to today. I mean, this person is unrecognizable. They're out there coaching other people, running their own business. I've seen them on Instagram talking so confidently into a camera and it's showing snippets of this life that I know he never thought he could have. And now he's absolutely living the life of his dreams. And I know that his dreams have got even bigger now. He's gone from just wanting a bit of self-confidence and wanting to be able to help people to wanting to build an empire. He's sending out this ripple into the world that influences so many people building on their dreams and then moving on and helping so many more people. This is what rapid transformational coaching does, and I cannot wait to talk to you about it today. Around 250 people have trained in RTC and become rapid transformational coaches, and I've had the honor and the privilege of being part of that journey for a lot of people, from the first session that we have and to their final review and assessment at the end of the program. And the transformation that I've seen in people is absolutely phenomenal. The energy that I feel from people as they're graduating from the RTC program, the excitement that they have, the questions they're asking me about how to move forward, about their next steps, is so inspiring to see. One thing I could really see was that the thing that had been stopping them previously was that they didn't have the self-belief, the self-confidence, the understanding what coaching really is, the power of what coaching can do, and most importantly, really cutting-edge tools to enable people to unlock their true potential. So that's what we've done with RTC, is created a space where people can feel confident in themselves, know that they're going to be successful, and have access to incredible, powerful tools to help their clients transform. We've had executive coaches who've been coaching for 20 years, who've never had access to these kind of tools, who've after the program come to me and said, wow, I wish I'd done this 15 years ago. We've had hairdressers, waitresses, me myself, I used to run a pub, and now I'm able to transform people's lives, have incredible conversations, and use amazing tools to help them transform. So you might be sat there thinking, oh no, not another course, not another thing that I need to do to be better. You might even be sat there thinking, I think I want to do this, but it's not for me. I'm not going to be very good at it. I don't know enough to do this course. I'm not good enough to do it. Well, let's use RTC for a second. Let's use one of the tools that we know to take a look at those thoughts. If you want to, close your eyes. If not, keep your eyes open. But I want you to think about that thought you might be having. Let's say, I'm not good enough for this course. Say that again. I'm not good enough for this course. Now, how's that making you feel? When I say that, I'm actually getting a physical reaction now myself, because every thought we have causes a physical reaction. And that physical reaction, that feeling I'm having is like I want to be small, like I want to hide away. And when I feel like that, what kind of action am I going to take? And ask yourself that. For me, when I feel like that, like I want to hide away, the action I take is hiding away. And then when I'm sat there hiding away from the world, because I feel like I want to play small, because I think that I'm not good enough, the way that I'm left feeling and thinking about myself is that I'm not good enough. So I'm justifying this first thought that I had. So you see, you end up in a negative feedback loop. The amazing thing is this is just a story that you're telling yourself. But you can choose to tell yourself a different story here. So I would encourage you to close your eyes for a second as you do this, and I want you to imagine yourself. You've made that decision that you're going to learn to be a rapid transformational coach. And as you picture yourself doing that, I want you to say to yourself, I deserve this. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to learn so much. I'm going to be so good at going through this course. And I want you to say that again, but I want you to shout it. Say it with some real conviction. I deserve this. I'm going to be a phenomenal coach. And even as I'm saying that now, that shrinking small feeling I had, suddenly I feel excited. I've actually got a little bit of butterflies in my stomach. And when I start to feel that way, the action that I take is pretty inspired. I take action that aligns with that thought I'm having. I'm going to be a phenomenal coach. I'm going to take action that moves me towards that. The thought that I have at the end of that is, I deserve this. I'm going to be a phenomenal coach. And so you see, on one side, I have this ladder of looping thoughts where I don't feel like I'm good enough, that makes me feel small, makes me want to hide away. And on this side, I have this ladder of looping thoughts that says, I deserve this. I'm going to be a phenomenal coach. And that creates different feelings in me, that creates different actions, and leaves me thinking different things about myself. Which one would you rather choose? So I invite you now to start considering the stories that you're telling yourself, to start thinking about where you might be playing it small. And what is the story you're telling yourself about that? Are you playing it small because you think it's safe? Are you playing it small because you don't think you can do it? Is that the story that you really want to tell yourself? And then when you found that story that you are telling yourself, I encourage you to find a more empowering, more inspiring story to tell yourself. And quite literally, tell yourself that story. These are all the things that we teach you in RTC. And even if you never decide to learn RTC, I want you to know that no matter what you're doing, you can stop for a second. You can take a look around you. You can think about the story that's going through your head right now. You can doubt it. And then you can introduce a more powerful, empowering story for yourself. If you're the kind of person that's feeling stuck, knows what they want, but doesn't really know how to get it. Maybe you don't know what you want, but you just know that you don't want to be where you are. Maybe you're someone who is always helping other people, or trying to help other people, but not being taken seriously. Maybe you want to understand yourself and the people around you on a deeper level, and you want to understand how to use your mind, how to use the power of your brain to collaborate with yourself and to create the future that you want and you deserve. Then RTC is exactly what you are looking for. There are so many people that I've seen impacted, energized, and inspired by the RTC program. From parents who all of a sudden have a deeper understanding of how to communicate with their children. I cannot tell you how many people have come to me and said, RTC has improved my relationships, not only with my children, with my partner, with my own parents, with my work colleagues, with my manager. It's given them so much more than just the ability to change their life. It's given them the ability to have powerful, impactful conversations. It's given them the ability to understand how to communicate with people, to bring the best out in people. Because when you bring the best out in someone, that person's going to turn that round and try and bring the best out in you as well. And isn't that the kind of place we want to live? The most powerful difference between rapid transformational coaching and other coaching programs or other coaching modalities that I've experienced is this incredible blend of the therapeutic tools with powerful coaching. Because we have an attachment to therapy within the company, we're able to really learn from that and learn how to work with both the mind and our emotions to understand what it is that really drives people and help them understand how to create the change that they're looking for. I could sit here and talk about RTC all day. I could tell you how amazing the tools are, the impact it's had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Listen to our graduates.
These tools that we learned, they were working. So after that session was done, I was like, okay, I could do this again. I could help my next client. I want to do more. I want it. And it just felt so good. The relief that came afterwards was when the client was thanking me. They're saying, man, I didn't even know that was a block that I had in my life. In my mind, I was like, me neither. But that's okay. I didn't have to. The tools were able to do that. That felt great.
The number one reason that I wanted to be a coach actually came from a period of self-reflection where I looked back on my career and thought, what were those moments that felt the most meaningful? And for me, it was really the times that I was working with people to help them get clear on what was keeping them stuck, what they wanted in life, and helping them work towards that. So when I thought about what I want from the next phase of my career, actually doing that work full time felt really meaningful to me.
The added benefit about this training for me has been that I've been able to look at my own goals and to see whether or not they've been serving me, and to really think about what it is that I'm moving towards personally. But now let me tell you about the live sessions, which are delivered by the coach trainers in a really engaging way. And they bring these tools to life so you can really see them in action and think about how you would use them as a coach.
So here's what the program really looks like. Generally, it takes 6 months. There's a 3-month intensive phase, followed by a 3-month practice phase. During that first 3-month intensive phase, you're going to attend 5 virtual classrooms and 5 deep dive group development sessions, and you're going to see a number of live, real coaching sessions performed by real coaches. You're also going to get 10 practice circles at 90 minutes each, so you can put everything you're learning into practice so quickly and really get going and understanding and feeling what it's like to be a coach from the very beginning of the course. You're going to get a self-coaching workbook that will take you through each week, helping you to set your goals, helping you be more self-reflective, and getting you in that coaching mindset from the very beginning. There will be 6 Q&A calls with real coaches like myself and the rest of the training team, where you can get any of your questions answered about coaching. You can bring real-world situations into this session. You could ask for advice on clients that you have at the moment. You could have asked for advice on any kind of situation and get a number of answers from some different perspectives. There are 2 webinars with Marissa Pia, the founder of RTT and RTC. You'll get the opportunity for reflective practice sessions, where you will take another student through a journey of 3 coaching sessions. So you really get that feeling of what it's like to put a package together and take someone through that journey. When you graduate, you are ready. You are ready to go and launch your business. So we're going to teach you how to take someone through a 90-day or 3-month coaching journey. Because we found with RTC, that's what's been the most effective. And we found that charging between £1,000 and £3,000 is about the right price mark for that. One thing we do with RTT is we teach you how to promote yourself, how to market yourself, and give you an opportunity to ask questions related to marketing, to really focus on being able to get those paying clients. And we're going to add that to RTC now. So not only are you going to learn how to be a fantastic coach, but you're also going to learn how to run a successful business as well. One of the best things about RTC is that you'll go through this journey in a cohort of other students. And what I know about these cohorts is that the students build lifelong friends, lifelong connections, coaching partners, accountability buddies. My personal experience, the people that I learnt rapid transformational coaching with are now some of my best friends, and they're all over the world. And on top of that, there is a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if for some reason you get to your first session, your first group development session or virtual classroom, and you think, no, this isn't for me, and those negative looping thoughts come in, you can either change them, or you have got time to get your money back as well. So I just want you to close your eyes for a moment, just take a second, and I want you to really think about everything that you've heard me talk about today, all the questions I've answered. I want you to think about the opportunity to learn how to work with people, how to develop yourself personally, how to grow as a family, as a community, and as a society. And I want you to really think about the opportunity to be able to expand your own vision and create what you want from your life. And if you are on the fence, if you're still umming and ahhing, wondering if this is really for you, understand that that's natural. We always feel a little bit of resistance to change, but I'll ask you to consider, if you continue to resist that change, where will you end up? And if you don't resist that change, what is possible? Take a moment, visualize both outcomes, see which one makes you feel better. So do you want to have powerful, life-changing, impactful conversations every day? Do you want to wake up every morning feeling motivated, purposeful and driven? Or do you want to go back to what you're doing? Which is also fine, because you will improve. You will still get to places that you want to go. But if you want this, if you want that powerful, purposeful, driven life with the ability to impact the world, book a call with one of our team below, and I'll see you very soon in a virtual classroom.